Hey everyone, today we're tackling a topic that's been stirring up some major debates: 50-50 relationships. You know, that idea that everything between couples should be split evenly, from chores to bills, and from responsibilities to paychecks. On paper, it might sound like the ideal way to maintain equality, but is this so-called fair deal really what it's cracked up to be, especially when we consider the principles of feminism? Or is it just a myth that looks good but falls apart when put into practice? Let's dive in and find out. The idea of a 50-50 relationship is often presented as the gold standard for fairness. Splitting everything equally seems like the perfect way to ensure that both partners are contributing their fair share. But here's the big question: does it actually work? Is splitting everything right down the middle really the best way to achieve equality in a relationship? Or are we oversimplifying something that's way more complex? Let's get real. Imagine this: you and your partner decide that to be truly equal, everything must be split 50-50. You split the rent, the utilities, the groceries, and even the chores. But hold on, what happens when one of you earns significantly more than the other? Is it still fair to split everything down the middle? Let's say one partner earns $70,000 a year and the other makes $40,000. Sure, you might be splitting the bills equally, but are you really contributing equally? Or is this so-called fairness actually creating an imbalance? This is where the concept of 50-50 starts to get a bit shaky. If one partner is putting a significantly larger chunk of their income towards shared expenses, are they really benefiting from this equal split? Or are they being burdened by it? And let's not forget about lifestyle choices. Maybe the higher earner wants to splurge on a luxury vacation, while the other can barely afford their share. Does it really make sense to split that cost evenly? Now, let's talk about the other half of this equation: household chores and responsibilities. If both partners are working full-time jobs, it might seem fair to split the chores right down the middle. But what if one partner is working fewer hours or is more involved in managing the household? Should they still be expected to contribute the same amount of effort at home? The truth is, equality in relationships isn't just about who does what. It's about recognizing and respecting each other's contributions, whether they're financial or not. Think about the invisible labor that often goes unnoticed: managing the household, taking care of kids, and planning social activities. These are all contributions that don't have a dollar value attached to them, but they're just as important in keeping a relationship and a household running smoothly. So is it really fair to split everything 50-50 when one partner is shouldering more of this invisible labor? Here's where feminism comes into play. Feminism isn't just about fighting for equal pay or breaking a glass ceiling. It's also about challenging the traditional norms and expectations that society places on us, especially within relationships. And when we talk about equality in a relationship, we have to consider more than just who's paying the bills or who's doing the dishes. We have to think about the bigger picture: fairness, and not just equality. For many women, true equality in a relationship isn't about splitting everything 50-50. It's about acknowledging the differences in income, workload, and the unique value that each partner brings to the table. It's about creating a partnership where both people feel valued and supported, rather than feeling like they're constantly trying to measure up to a standard of fairness. So, where does this leave us? The truth is that 50-50 relationships are not a one-size-fits-all solution. In fact, trying to force everything into a 50-50 framework can actually create more tension and inequality, especially if one partner feels like they're getting more than they're getting in return. A more practical approach to sharing responsibilities and finances might be the key to a truly equal and fulfilling relationship. It must take into account each partner's circumstances and contributions. At the end of the day, the goal should be to create a relationship where both partners feel seen, heard, and appreciated. That might mean splitting things differently than 50-50, maybe 60-40, maybe 70-30, or maybe something else. The point is to find what works best for you and your partner, rather than sticking to a rigid idea of fairness that doesn't reflect the reality of your relationship. Remember, fairness in a relationship isn't just about equality. It's about understanding, communication, and finding a balance that works for both of you. And always remember, the best relationships aren't measured by numbers. They are built on mutual respect, love, and understanding. Have you ever been in a relationship where you tried to split everything evenly? How did it work out for you? We want to hear your thoughts. Drop them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on relationships, feminism, and everything in between.